think I forgot the copies upstairs. Get that. Murder ball. I think that's every piece. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Loki's going ham with the ball upstairs. So if you hear that, I apologize. Putting together the pattern pieces that I tested yesterday. And I realized that all my notes for the pattern are upstairs. So I need to go get that. When you pattern test, it's not just testing the back and be like, oh, it's perfect. You're the best designer ever. The reason why designers want you to come in with like different styles, different levels of sewing skills is because if there's an issue or there's something you come across that you're not understanding or you think there's a better way of explaining, you are the people that are like, okay, this step on this page made absolutely no sense, even with the picture. I don't know if it's just me, so that they can try to make the pattern more cohesive and more understanding for everyone. So what I do is when I have pattern tests and I take my actual pattern instructions and I write notes on each step if I don't understand something. And that's a good thing, actually. When you get a pattern and everything is perfect the first go around, you may think that like halfway through, am I frozen? My tablet keeps buffering. Long story short, you basically just need to find any errors, whether it's grammar or wording or like for example, one of my things that I always tell people is please put what fabrics you recommend. I'm back. I know, I'm sorry, I was freezing. What fabrics you recommend for the pattern. I feel like that's important, no matter if you have an industrial or if you have a domestic, because if they feel like this is a birthing bag and don't do leather, that's good to tell people like this is what you could try, but we don't recommend as the designers. So I was pattern testing yesterday. Kendall took me on a little Tandy. It's a shopping spree for me. I got 3 leathers, but they were all under like one roll of leather was like $49. The other one was like $69. And then he fell in love with this brown one that I'm going to make him a bag out of. And that one cost $100, which that's a big spend for me. So I did actually one of my pattern testing with one of the cheaper, leathers. Now I have done patterns in leather before. When Erica came out with the Moonwake, my chrome blue, it was chrome leather, and it came out really good. I just always get nervous when I sew leather because there's no forgiveness. And I know there's no forgiveness with vinyl, but I sew a lot with cork, and cork is a very forgiving fabric. So I'm doing that. Good morning. Yeah, I always recommend people to read the entire pattern before sewing. I even recommend people to watch the whole video before you start sewing or cutting, because there could be an incident where someone's sewing and they'll be like, wait, what? This pattern piece doesn't make any sense. And it'd be easier for you to cut it out doing blah, 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 blah. Watch a video, do, my cart is backwards and it's driving me nuts. Like where I put the scissors and everything is on usually towards the inside, not the outside. You know, do the whole pattern, read the pattern. I read the pattern first. I get a bright color pen, and then I start like writing down notes of what I think will be confusing for me, or if I choose that pattern to do a tutorial on, and the person gives me permission to do a tutorial, then I usually like go over everything to make sure that that pattern is I'm sorry, I have two sets of pinky shears, and I always try to keep them one on each side, to make sure everything in that pattern is like easy to follow. Because I have been told that my videos are a little disjointed, but I think what some people may not understand is before I give you the pattern, I actually make the bag first, because I want to be able to give you the most authentic, real information I possibly can without you struggling trying to figure out whether or not you can do this pattern, or oh oops, there, I forgot this piece, and you cut it out and you're trying to sew along with me. So normally I do the pattern first, write down notes in the pattern like this part's difficult, slow down, show them how to do it. But it can seem apparently disjointed. Apparently on one of my videos that was a comment. Oh, I'm not over it just yet. I am human. Yeah, that could be hard. I understand, because there you what happen is these pattern designers, if you test with them a lot, you're used to their writing style. So sometimes you'll skim over it, but I always tell people don't do that, because when you do that, you may miss something that is vital. Like a perfect example is the park sling. I did not test. I just got onto Sarah's team, from So Sweetness after the park sling. Now, out of all her patterns, that is a pattern. If you look up park sling, that is a pattern that customers and like people that test not test bag people that make that bag have an issue with. It kind of reminds me of the Denver and Swoon. There's a pattern in each person's I guess repertoire that everybody has. There's a majority of people have a difficult time for it. The park sling is one of them. Now I'm so familiar with Sarah's pattern writing style that I already know I'm 1/4 of an inch. I'm doing this to the pocket. I'm doing this. But when it came to that park sling and putting the right sides of the lining to the wrong sides of the front of the bag, and then flipping the right sides to the back of the lining, people had lost their mind and could not put this bag together. It's interesting because that is the most difficult part of the bag. The bag comes together like super easy. And to me, it's not difficult because I read the instructions first. But if you do not read the instructions and like go over it and just like have your imagination putting these scenes together, there are people that won't do it. Just like the Denver. The Denver has like a 12 or a 13-inch zipper on the small, but it mentions about using purse tabs. If you go into Swoon and put Denver, you'll be like, the zipper is not the right size. And Alicia, the former owner has addressed this like several times in the Swoon pattern, but people, it's like reading the directions is sometimes extremely difficult, um, because you're so used to this person's pattern designer. The more used you are to it, you think you know exactly how they're going to write. And pattern designers like to do the 1-2 punch and change things up. So I always say read the instructions not once but twice. Get a highlighter, like highlight the difference of seam allowance. I do that with Country Cow. Her seam allowance is normally 3/8 of an inch, but sometimes her zippers are 1/4 of an inch, so I'll highlight that area. Sometimes they're 3/8 of an inch. I'll highlight it so that way when I'm sewing, when I'm looking, there's no confusion. But one of the things I love about Country Cow is on the top of her instructions on each page, it has the seam allowance for this set of pages, and I always highlight that so that way my eye goes directly to it. So my suggestion is print out your instruction, have your handy dandy highlighter, and highlight sections that when you're sewing, it automatically draws your eye. And same with cutting. People always mess up the mirror pieces. That happens a lot. I actually get a lot of messages about that. like, how do you do mirror pieces? And I'm like, it's all in the instructions. Take your time, do the cutting chart right. You got this. I'm trying to harvest this. I didn't want to be using a 1/2 inch, but you can see like on this wax canvas, I have twill tape in the middle, so I can't just cut through as easily. Twill tape is my friend when it comes down to interfacing. Oh, my nail polish is from like the gel nail polish. I need to go get them done again. I want them in black. Kendall's really opposed to me having black, but that's like my favorite color in nail polish. Like when it's black and it's like crystal overlays, like jelly or something. It's all shiny. Man, this thing is stuck on here. So today I'm going to be filming um, a Nova's Nugget. I think I'm filming 2 Nova's Nugget and a Notions, Nova's Notions. I do need to finish one strike, and I'm halfway done filming one video, but I'm probably going to film the other half on Monday, because when I when I was filming, it's super hard to film during the day when everyone's home, because they're 4 little personalities plus the 2 dogs personalities. So they are super active and I get easily distracted. You'll see me in the video go, what? What? Because I'm like listening. You know, you have that mama bear instinct or parent bear instinct that if you hear a kid argue, you automatically are in tune with it and things like that. So I'm going to film most of that tomorrow. I filmed the first part, but if it looks discombobulated, it's because my kids are home and one of them are arguing with the other one. So you keep watching my head tilt up. So I'm going to finish the tutorial tomorrow, so that way Kendall can get it all edited tomorrow night. His video will be finished, we're saying Tuesday. We filmed the first part yesterday, so the second part will be done on Tuesday. So I'm hoping that could be out on Thursday or Friday. And then I'm going to be filming a couple tutorials this week, I believe. Hopefully the kids don't have a random day at school off. That always happens. Like when I have like my schedule set to film like 3 tutorials in a week, they have like Wednesday half day, and I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, I'm glad I'm home with them and we get to have like, fun time cuddling and joshing each other and like pranking and whatever, but it's always the weirdest times. What am I working on right now? I'm trying to make a second Limousin from Country Cow. I made a first one. Freaking love this pattern. I'm trying a second one to see how it works with waterproof canvas. Joe was really adamant about this being all cotton, and I understand why, because there's some layers that you go through, especially when you're putting the accordion pocket part together. You're sewing through like 8 layers of woven, and it may not seem a lot when you think of vinyl and stuff, but it is. So, but the tank went through it real easily. So I'm thinking about filming the tutorial with the tank on the other half. That's what I'm working on right now. And I finished Country Cow's new bag for testing yesterday. You guys are going to love it. It is simplistic and just stunning. I believe Adam wrote the pattern, and it's amazing. I made the bag for Kindle, and I hand stamped his name with leather stamps on the top of the handle, so he can have it, because his name's spelled Kendell, and everybody wants to put an A instead of an E. So I try to put his name on whatever I make him, so that way he feels that it's special. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to be, I'm going to cut out my Wednesday bag. That's what I'm doing today too. After I finish this second wallet, take pictures of all the bags that I have so that I can have them for next week. And there's one more thing I'm supposed to do today. Oh, and film my 2, my Nova's Notions and Nova's Nuggets. Then I'm going to, I just have like all these little sewing projects that I need to do. that's basically what I'm going to do today. Next week I have a lot on my plate. I have no tester bags. Actually, nope, I take that back. There's a new tester bag that I just signed up for, which I'm excited because this designer, it makes really unique shapes and bags. Um, oh, I'm making Kendall a couple belts. That's it. I want to buy some belts, leather belt, leather belt things, and I'm putting the buckles on and whatever, so that he can have them from work. Because his leather belt, like, look, it looks janky. Oh, and I got this at Joann's yesterday for 60% off. It's a precision knife, but you put your finger through it like this. And I was like, oh, son of a biscuit. This is so cool. And I wouldn't have got it, but it was 60% off. So I was like, I'm going to try this. I always like getting different box cutters and precision knives. I have like a slew full of these things. I don't know why. And yeah, I went on a mini. I got 3 skins at Tandy Leather, and I bought this was just really cool, which I'm probably going to try to do this in a Nova's Notion. It looks like a Tandy leather pen, but it's not. You put your dye, your edge paint in here. You close the lid, and now you can use it as a marker. So I use markers all the time. I'm actually going to do a Nova's Notions on one of those this week too, because I got a lot of questions about edge paint, but some people are like, hey, I can't handle the fumes, or I just don't have room for that. So I'm going to show people how I buy these from like Springfield Leather. Sometimes you can get them at Joann's. Like they're everywhere. I use them all the time. I'm trying to show you. I have open boxes of them everywhere. And I usually get these colors because this is the colors of usually the vinyls that I get. You can buy custom colors. Like you can get them on Amazon. I showed you guys yesterday that I had like a box full of different colors, like primary colors from Amazon that are leather paint. So sometimes I use those around like a single layer of edge, and everyone thinks they look crisp and clean. It does the same thing. I'm not a fan of permanent markers. I know there are some people that believe in putting permanent markers on edge, but permanent markers have a tendency of bleeding in rain or extreme heat. So like if you live in Texas or something, or Arizona, and let's say it's a hot day and there's rain, the permanent marker can transfer. I do use permanent markers sometimes on the back of vinyl that I know it's not going to bleed through, like when I'm drawing out my own measurements or whatever. So yeah, I got a couple of cool tools like these little sponge things to try on edge painting, so we can use for Nova's Notions, because this costs like $1 and something cents, and these cost like $2. And I'm like, what are cheap notions we can use for edge painting that can help us? So I got those to do some Nova's Notions. I will give a review on the precision knife. I just thought this is cool. Like your finger. You can get them at Springfield Leather. They're called real leather marker dies. If you put in your Google search leather marking dies, you'll see a slew full of them. You can even get the ones I get on Amazon are like, they're called fabric markers, and they cost like $6. These are the markers that you see people doing like TikToks with, like making their Nikes, because they're permanent fabric markers. They're a trick of the trade that I always have around me because they're extremely helpful. I'm trying to think of what else I have. So yeah, I have a couple strikes for next week. I have 3 videos I'm trying to film. I need to finish Kendall's video for finish Kendall's video for the wax canvas. I'm going to be doing a video that's kind of like wax canvas, but different. I just have like a lot of different Nova's Notions. And then hopefully the Limizza will be out sometime next week, either Thursday or Friday. And then I will have a couple other like little tidbits throughout the week. You're welcome. I don't have a circuit. I've always wanted one. I was actually thinking with my tax funds to getting a circuit or a silhouette. I don't have one. I didn't know. Yeah, I seen that Love Lola um Raven did that. That's real. I think it's really cool. I'm actually on the wait list for Heartwood and Hyde. I want two different tags. My business name is Nova's Knits. So I will like I can make my own. I have my own logo, but I can't do like the iridescent, and I wanted like variants of Till. So I'm on the list for Heartwood and Hyde, and then they're helping me come up with the logo for That's So Nova. So what my plan is, I don't know why I thought of this like this, but my plan is that I definitely have my Nova's knits. My bags go out on a daily basis. I have metal tags. I don't like metal tags anymore. The thing is that there's no wrong or right answer. I think us when you're I think you when you're a sewist, you're an artist. And like any artist, you could change up your paint, you could change up something because that's no longer that's something that doesn't move you. I don't like the way the metal tags look anymore for my bags. Not saying for anyone else's, but for mine. So I've been stamping. I'll do foil stamp or heat stamps if it's cork with my tag with my heat foil. But I wanted tags with color, like my color scheme is like tills and blues, and I use a lot of cork, so I wanted that. So I'm on Heartwood and Hyde's waiting list for Nova Knits tags, and then I just added that I wanted That's So Nova. And you're going to be like, why do you have two? Most of the bags that I make for testers, other bag people want. And I want to be able to, if I'm doing a tutorial on it, I don't think of it as a Nova's Knits bag. I think of it as a That's So Nova bag. So when the bags that I actually make like record, going to put a That's So Nova tag on it. And then the bags that I make on when I'm not recording are going to be for Nova's Knits. No, I wish. No, I don't have Circuit. I have a brother that I barely use, and I only use it for applique or like embroidery designs because it talks to my brother's sewing machine. So that's the only reason why I have it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I feel like the mats are bad. I feel like I always have to buy a new mat, or I have to do like the Ghetto Fabulous temporary spray basting and then doing it. And even then, if you don't roll it out perfectly, it sticks up, and it can be really frustrating when you're low on that particular vinyl or cork. I will love to get a circuit or a silhouette. I'm going to start doing research on that. Kendall's told me that I can, we were talking about what we're going to do with their taxes, like what we're going to put in savings, what we're going to put in the house, what's going back into the business. And I told him that I really would like to explore either a circuit or a silhouette or a Cricut or something. So that way I could do tutorials on that too. More and more designers are doing SVGs, and I have had people ask me to do videos and to show SVG cutouts, and my brother's not the best, so I don't know. You guys, if you have a recommendation, yeah, please put them down below, because I am new to the Circuit Cricut silhouette world, and I know there's like a big debate over which one's the best, but I'm looking for one that I can cut leather, thin leathers, corks, and vinyls. And um, I also want to start using HTV as designs on bags. I used it weirdly on sides of masks when the masks were coming out. I used to get a lot. I have, because of the community that I am, I used to get a lot of people that were like rappers, and they would have like go to concerts, and I would put their logos on the side of the face so they could still breathe out of their cotton mask, but had like the logos on the side, and it made it look like there were tattoos, like they'll be like red or black or whatever. And I love that. And I would love to explore with HTV on vinyl or cork or leather. I've been seeing a lot of bags like that, and I would love to explore with it. I just don't know which one to get. Yeah, her tags were really beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, there's something about Heartwood and Hyde that I love their stuff. And they were, when I met them at So Magical, this is okay. I'm gonna nerd out with you guys because no one else knows this. When I met them at So Magical, I was nervous because I know they have such a big waiting list, and their stuff is so like there's nothing, no one else like their stuff on the market. I'm sorry. Their variants, their designs, and how they look, when they're embossed or debossed. Um, are beautiful. So I met them. They were nice. I showed you guys them live. They weren't, unfortunately, at Texas. Um, it would have been hard though, because Texas reception was kind of difficult for a lot of people and myself. Like me to do that video with Danielle, we had to go outside of the vendor hall because it wasn't the best. Um, so when I reached out to them recently and I was like, hey, I know you have a really long wait list. Let me start with that. And I know that your product is definitely worth the wait. So I'm not going to pressure you, but I would love to be placed on your list for 2 different tags. They knew exactly who I was, and I totally fangirled out. Like, I'm no one. I'm absolutely no one. They're like, hey, we love your videos and da da da. And I'm like, that's crazy. I'm no one. But yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited and willing to wait for their tags. Their work is beautiful, and they had a live on Friday showing some tags that they had just made. And I guess they're also going to be doing sticker sublimations, or stickers that are posable, like you could take them off and you can put them on other places, and they're not tacky. They're like the vinyl decals that you can put on your car. And they're gonna have like regular ones like that they make, and they're also gonna do custom ones. And I was like, that is really cool. I'm not there yet for stickers, like, but that is cool. Yeah, I Black Friday is the best time to get like apparently like circuits, any of the cutting machines. I'm wondering if like Fourth of July is like that though, or one of these other holidays, because it's kind of like, you know how you when you buy a new car, you try to buy a car like during President's Day or Memorial Day weekend or Black Friday or whatever, because that's when they're like sales, sales, sales. Yeah, Hartward and Hyde. Yeah, that's who I want. I'm trying to get my tags from. They like I like the fact that they're a husband and wife business. I like the fact that they work together and they're very supportive of each other. I think that I'm a sucker for that. I'm sorry. I'm a huge sucker for that. That's why I love Joy from Georgia Stitch. Her husband's super supportive. One of the reasons why I totally love Sarah Lawson and Danny, Vanessa and her husband and her children. Like when the whole family becomes a part of the business, it just makes my heart sing. It's just amazing to me because it's family owned, and I guess that goes back to like what I do. Like I made some t-shirts for my Patreon peeps, and they're taking a while from the time that I've initially told them around Valentine's Day, but they're being so patient because I went to a mom and pop shop. It would have been easy to go to a Vistaprint or whatever, and I understand these people start off Vistaprint starts off small, but I'd rather go to someone small, put my money into them so that they can grow, and it makes me happy. It legit mom and pop shops make me happy. Minkus and Margot the same way, where I got my Rivet press. It's a husband and wife team. And I always tell people, if you're gonna get your press, why I get it there is because they have an abundance of dyes that you would never even think about getting, from feet dyes to spikes to like square or really flat rivet circles to having the ones that they just have like different kinds of rivets too. So I like the fact that they do that, and their videos are great. They have videos for each dye and showing you how to do it. And it's either the husband or the wife. And I'm like, I don't know. When I see groups like that, it makes me super excited. Country Cows like that. The pattern that I tested yesterday is Adam's pattern. Yes, his wife Joe helped wrote it, but this is his baby, and her supporting by writing and whatever, it just makes me so excited. It makes me want to like share their stuff worldwide because it's a family dynamic in it. Not to say if someone doesn't have a family dynamic, I don't like it. It just makes me happy when I see it. I have a Brother Scan and Cut. My only issue with Brother Scan and Cut, I love the fact that I can do things wireless. I love the program in Canvas. Um, I can do things with it. I have made dog tags and silver tags. The mats are a huge problem with me. if I'm using vinyl or cork or even fabric. I have got different mats each time. And I don't know. I got to the point where I have to use like painter's tape, like spray like a, a quilting basting, put it down, and do painter's tape all the way around. And it's just a lot, especially when I'm seeing all these other people just like flatten out their fabric and it's feeding in. And I'm like, what, why am I doing this? I talked to some other brothers, people in different groups, and they say that's their biggest negative of having a brother scan and cut is when they're trying to cut out actual leather, cork, or vinyl, the mat's not sticky enough, and it gets unsticky really fast. And it's not like you can do the baby white thing to clean it and it gets re-sticky. It's like you have to buy a whole new mat. And depending on where you get the mat, you can get them as cheap as $12 or they're like 20 something dollars, and the blades dull out incredibly fast. And I don't know. I know I want to go. I seen the maker. I know the maker's one of the higher end ones. Um, I'm not intimidated by software because again, I use Canvas all the time. And then when I do embroider, I use the PES software. But the only reason why I got the Brother Scan and Cut was because of the simple fact that it talked to my machine. Yeah. Okay, that's good. It's Heartwood and Hide. It's one word. Let me see if I can pull it up and put it in my. They actually make like pretty much almost everyone's tags, but they also I think sometimes contribute to Lauren's blurb box. Hold on, I'll put their information. Oh, my phone is like, here we go. I just put it in there. Okay, that's good to know, Gypsy. I do what I usually do is I clean them, I wipe them down with a baby wipe, and then if there's any pieces sticking, I use like this really soft glue spatula to lift them up. I try to then do like a little soap and water and then pat dry them. But once you do that, like this, the tackiness is gone. And then I got to the point that I'm like, screw it. One mat I have is absolutely gross. It's nothing but glue residue. And I'll just like and stick my thing on there if I absolutely need it for a vinyl piece. And that's why I do a lot of like freehand cutting because it's frustrating. You're welcome, Gloria. Yeah, I also use painter's tape. There's this person on that I seen use it on one of these brothers forums where they use painter's tape and they hold down the thing. That it works too, but if one area like if an air bubble gets into one area, it can mess up the whole thing and then you're like, this was all for naught and just want to Hulk smash it. We all know that my patience is I might go look for zigzag tack thing too. I mentioned it casually to Kendall the other day about getting another one so I can do tutorials. I don't know. And I also just want to explore more. I want something that can cut really well with HTV files so that way I can do cute little designs on bags. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I want it. So yeah, that's what my goal is. I don't know when I'm going to get one. I want to, because there's just so much. Just like there's a lot of designers that are doing projectors for bags, and I was looking into getting a small projector so I can do. Um, so I can see if it's really cool to have paper free, and also as a just to do random tutorials about cutting out. The projector one is a little bit more intimidating to me, but I was looking at one yesterday at Joann's for the longest time, and it looks really cool. Somebody came by and was talking about it, and I was like, this is actually pretty cool. My Rivet Press recommendation is Mikas and Margot. I hear great things about CamSnap. I believe even My Handmade Space has her own, and I believe if you get My Handmade Space, she even has the die for the Mickey Mouse heads. So if you're a person that uses the Mickey Mouse rivets a lot, that might be something you look into. I do have an Mickey Mouse die that I have to manually tap, which I'm going to show how I use it on my Harbor Press. I also like the Harbor Press. If you have like regular um, pieces that you use with a mini anvil, you can use it on your Harbor Press, and it's easy peasy. All you need is a magnet. You can cut out the die punches as well with it. I'm hoping to have everything for my Harbor Press to do a tutorial on it this week or the following week. The Arbor Press is amazing. I'm not going to lie to you. It is absolutely amazing. But there's so many different presses out there. There's a CW Osborne. Is If I were to go back, I would still want to keep my Mikas and Margot and still keep my Arbor Press, but I'm not going to lie to you. I kind of want the C Arbor one because their dies you can get not only at Waywack, but you can get them at like Sellrite, and they have the most interesting dies. They have button covers. They have they just have like a lot of different dies that I don't see machines usually have. And the way it's shaped looks like that it won't topple over. When you have a press like this, when all the weight is in the front, if you don't have this secured with a piece of wood, it could topple over or go to the side. The way that the other one is made is that the handle, it goes up long and the handle is like from here. So it balances out. Don't ask why I look at things like that, but I'm really accident prone. So if I can get things that can prevent accidents, yeah, the Harbor Press, the reason why I like it, it's because it's heavy. It has never toppled over on me. And I feel like you're not like pushing down like this. You have a lever and you slowly put it down, and it's like no issue. I've done double cap rivets. I have done grommets. I have done eyelets. I have done so much on that machine that it's amazing. The reason why it's never in my tutorials is because it weighs like a bazillion pounds and it's on my cutting table. So I use it when I'm there, and it just helps. And then like the drill punches for holes, I use it with a magnet, and I can just put you down real easily. It's no effort. It is crazy how less effort you have to use on those. Yeah, but you can get a half ton Arbor Press. You can get an Arbor Press like literally anywhere. Harbor Press store does not sell them anymore, but I got mines from Amazon and it was cool. And then there's all these different tutorials on it. There's this leather guy. I need to find his tutorial. He's the reason why I got it, because he was showing how like the modification on it was really simple. He has a big magnet that's on the top, and you could just put your whatever your press die is and the anvil on the bottom. You're like bada bing, bada boom, and it was so. I was like, it can't be that easy. And then when I got it, I was like, holy hell. Because before I had my rivet press, I had everything handheld, and I didn't want to get rid of these sets. So I don't have to because of the Arbor Press. Like I said, I got from Soulful Therapy, a die that's a handheld one for the Mickey Mouse. And I didn't have one before, and whenever I would try to do it with the flat press, it would just squish and I would be frustrated. Now that I have the die, I put the Mickey Mouse head in and I have everything positioned and I just slowly pull it down. I'm like, this is brilliant. So it takes a little time to get used to it, because a rivet press is a hell of a lot easier. You just throw the dies in, label your dies, and you're good to go. The arbor press, I do recommend you watching videos, especially for leather workers, because they are the ones that use this a lot, and they're pretty cool. They're just, I think mine's just a half ton, not a ton. So yeah, Harbor stopped carrying theirs. When I started getting interested in it, that's when I realized everybody's didn't carry. So I started looking at different leather channels on YouTube. I've seen so many, I can't list them all. And I seen that all of them didn't have the actual Harbor Press. They had a Harbor Press where you can get like Amazon or their local Ace store or whatever, and it works out. And for me, like again, I like it because the weight distribution, when I pull down the lever, the back of the machine is not trying to lift up. When you have the press, something can lift up, and especially if you're heavy handed like me, and if it's not like bolted down on a piece of wood. And I feel like that's important. So yeah, that's what my plan's on. I need to get some coffee. I'm super sleepy. That's my plans today. I love tools. Like that's I will go into a store just to look for tools, because I always look for the next thing that can help me elevate my style. So I look for tools that are inexpensive, expensive, whatever. Like I told you this, I was looking for a new precision cut, and I use these for cutting out pockets or doing slits for individual, for hidden strap connectors. And I have a cut on my finger from when I just sliced my finger with one of these, and this one has like a safety guard on it so you won't hurt yourself. And the fact that you can hold it, I'm able to hold it like this, and there's some kind of grip. I'm like really intrigued to see how it works, so I'm planning on trying this out today. And I don't know, I get excited by things like that. Yes, especially my dad worked with a lot of tools. He was an engineer, and most of the males in my life when I were younger always put money into your tools. And I think it's something that rubbed off on me, that don't go get cheap tools. I like it's not worth it, because at the end of the day, when something goes wrong, then it may not be you, it may be the equipment that you're working with. And that's why I'm always forever looking at new scissors and things like that, because these are tools that we use on a daily basis, and I want things that can help me instead of hindering me or postponing me from doing my work. Because I'm a person, if something stops me and makes me frustrated, I'll walk away, and then that means I'm losing time to finish my project. Tools make a huge difference. That's why I'm looking at possibly getting a circuit or a silhouette or a cricket or whatever. Um, I actually didn't talk to the person at Joann's for that. I was looking at the projector, which was creepy because it kind of you know when Princess Leia hits "Help me, Obi-Wan, I'm your only hope." It was like that weird blue light that was kind of fizzing out. I was like, yeah. Okay. So I was looking at that at Joann's yesterday, and just some like other weird like tools that I haven't seen before to see if it works, help the community. Um, yeah, I'm really kind of excited about the pen, because I'm thinking if you mix, I'm not going to use this for like a color that I pour in, but what if I use it for a color that I mix to match something completely? So I'm thinking about that. Um, Yeah, cheap tool is an expensive tool, especially if you have to get rid of it. This again, 60% off. So whenever I get those 60% off coupons, I like to go to Joann's and like look at tools that I can get. I also finally bought, because okay, I'm notorious for when I put my hands on the ruler, I know you're supposed to space your hands out like this and then move, but the ruler always moves. So I finally got a suction cup yesterday, and I almost lost my damn mind. I was like, this is why everybody has these things. This is amazing. Why did the heck did I never get it? I'm like putting my hand on, and the ruler's not moving. And I'm like, I was so excited. And if anybody came in my room, they probably would be like, she's such a nerd because I've seen them in videos all the time and I just never thought I needed one. And it's a solid investment. And the reason why I got it is because they were Fisker was 50% off yesterday. So I was like, ooh, rotary blade replacements. And then I seen that. I was like, why not? It's normally $19 and I got it for 9 something. So I got that too. And I'm really excited about that. I don't normally shop at Joann's, but when they do have those 60s and 50 and 40% sales off of stuff, I am there. And they have some pretty crazy fabrics now that look like some of the custom fabrics. I was totally flipping out. There's a fabric that I love that people get that are like Doctor Who, and he's like in stained glass, like the different doctors. And they also have it like that with Star Wars. And I always want to get these fabrics, but they're like, sometimes $25 a yard. I'm walking through Joann's aisles. I seen stained glass Star Wars and stained glass Doctor Who. And I'm like, do they have people in these Facebook groups? And they're like, we're going to make this. And it's like on sale for from $9.99 to $6.99. So you're like sold and you're buying things, All right. Well, I'm going to go drink some coffee, finish up the second wallet and do a little bit of filming. And then deep conditioning Sunday. Oh yeah, and taking pictures of all 3 bags. I'm the photographer. This one, I gotta take pictures of Kendall. I gotta take pictures of Hope and her Dorian, and then I'm gonna take pictures of Faith with the pink Terrato, and then hopefully I can get everything done by 6 so I can just like decompress because it's back to the work week where I'm dropping kids off from like 7 to 8 something each morning. Good morning. So if you have suggestions for a circuit, Cricut, whatever, if you could drop them in there, I'll definitely read them and I'll keep you posted on it because I actually I'm actually thinking about buying one this Friday or waiting for a sale or what have you. And I did put information for Heartwood and Hyde in there. You definitely look, because even if you don't want labels that are permanent, they have really cool labels. Like the ones I showed you from Florida that were like the little seagulls that were like mine from Finding Dory and all that stuff. They make all these really amazing just ones. I've seen that they have like really cool like scary ones the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, I kind of want these. I like tags. I'm part of the Blurb box just because of that. Like I feel like for me, I think it's an investment. I buy Lauren's tags on the regular. They're always on my thing. People, when people look at do reviews, they like open up the bag and look at the tag and they'll take pictures of it on my reviews of Etsy because they're like, I've never seen anything like that. So for me, the tags are important because people nerd out over it. Yeah, I have tried a lot. Like someone told me to let Dawn baby wash, Dawn soap, get in it, remove all the residue, wipe it down, and it should be stick to get. I was like, nope, it's just plastic now. Yeah, see, and the Brothers customer service is not bad. I love Canvas. I absolutely love Canvas. Um, and I love the fact this is one of the reasons what was a big pull for me for Brothers is I was able to scan in my pictures and have things cut out. Um, that was my big draw, but my issue is their mat and their blades. And I don't buy the fake brand ones because I was afraid. So I buy the real ones from a dealer who's 3 hours away from me, and for some odd reason it takes like a week and a half to get to me, and they're in Maryland. You already know my patience with shipping. So I just would like to try it because I want to do more tutorials. There's so many designers that are coming out with, like if you are a part of Bag of the Month, Jenny from Sincerely Jen, she came out with SVG files for the Duncan. So like that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of them do it and they want you to. I've had people ask me to do tutorials for it because people are legitimately wanting to. I have people asking me to do tutorials and I want to give that tutorial because I'm kind of tech savvy, except when it comes down to editing my films. It's not, I don't think I can't do it. It's I don't want to do it. And I have two people that are like, yeah, I'll do it. So yeah, a lot of them are adding them. So that's why I just want to be with it. I want to be able to provide people that subscribe to me with as much information I possibly can give. I know I looked at projector. I was looking at a projector at Joann's yesterday and I was telling Kendall, I was like, this might be something I need to invest in because a lot of people are asking questions. If you look at Not a Thread, she has a projector file for this. And I'm like, projector files kind of scare me, but that's why I want to get it because I'm one of those people, if I'm scared of doing it, that drives me to do it even more because I'm not going to stop my life because of fear. It's not worth it. Then I'm not living. The whole part of living is experiences. So I might get a projector file, and Kendall will, like when he redoes my room, like readjusts my room. I'm hoping next weekend. Um, I kind of want one. You have to, like, fear is just something, it's a hurdle. It's just a hurdle. And we all have them. Every single person has a fear and fears. If they pretend that they don't, then they're literally, they may be the Terminator. It's not human. Fear is a normal emotion and you embrace it. And we all are afraid. Like I get scared as heck as flying. I am so afraid. And I know they say you could die more faster in a car accident, and there's more car accidents than planes. Just the whole dropping and not being able to have any kind of control. Like if I do this, I'm not going to protect myself or whatever. But I get on the plane anyways because I want to meet other people and I want to teach and I want to experience. So I don't, my willpower is stronger than fear. Or you can use my favorite line in my favorite movie. You have no power over me. So yeah, you just got to go for it. Um, I have some planned fun stuff for the channel. I want to, because it's getting to a lot of the cool geeky stuff like May the 4th and all that stuff. I want to start celebrating like we do for Novaween. Like I want to do like all cool weird Star Wars bags in the month of May. And just like different things. Like I'm waiting, I this is Women's Appreciation Month and I was waiting for some really cool fabric. I'm waiting for my Riley Blake, the Jane Austen fabric so I can make my bags with like that and like Shelley Frankenstein. I'm waiting for this Shelley Frank book to come in and some fabric to come in so we can do it. Like I wanted to celebrate like women writers this month. Um just cool stuff like that. I want to start having like little themes because I'm a nerd like that and I love themes. I'm one of those people that like themes, birthday parties and whatever. I know. I definitely want to. There's a projector, guys. They have one in Joann's, and that might be somewhere I would go because the draw with the Joann's projector is this. When you buy it there, it's the same people, and at least at my Joann's, it's the same people that are part of the selling the sewing machines in the silhouettes and circuits and makers. They're all a part of that thing. So where I went to see this projector file was actually in that section. And if there's issues, they try to fix it in-house or they'll send it out. It's all within Joann's. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it. And also wait till the sales for Joann's. You know Joann's has, oh, it's President's Day sale, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day sale. So yeah. Not my Joann's is actually nice. And I did not realize it. I did not think it was fancy compared to the ones I had in California until I went to another part of Maryland and their Joann's was the size of my house. Like I was like, what? What do you mean you don't have a sewing room area? So we have a nice Joann's, a really, really nice Joann's. And next time I go in there, I'll do it. I'll go see if I can go live. It is massive. It is huge. Like it's like the size of a department store. The cutting table is a nightmare though. They usually put all the new people in cutting tables. I literally got someone cutting my fabric that did not know what a yard of fabric was. I don't blame them. I blame Joanne. It's like, I figure if you're gonna put someone back on the cutting table, you would teach them what a yard of fabric was. I'm so mad about that. Yeah, you can download different patterns. They were showing me how to they downloaded a McCall, I guess like a new McCall pattern, bag pattern came out, which I'm all over this because then maybe we need to sew it together as a tutorial because McCall and Vogue and all of them are really easy actually to get permission to sew their patterns and no one's asked me. And I love if you want when my room gets clean, the little library over there is nothing but McCall, Vogue, Simplicity bag patterns. Tons of them. I actually want to do the Birkin one, but I'm afraid to take like I took it out of the paper and I traced it, but it is such an ancient pattern. Like, it is like every time I touch the paper, I'm like, is it going to disintegrate? Like, is it going to Thanos sparkles everywhere? But they're easy to actually allow you to do sew alongs for. If think about it, Mimi G, most of her patterns before had her own line were all McCall's this or whatever. They're very easy. They'll let you do a sew along for it or do a video for it. So if you guys see a store brand bag that you're like, I would love to have a tutorial for, let's go for it. They loaded one of the McCall patterns that had the projector files on there in front of me, and I was blown away. I was absolutely because I was actually kind of anti projector panel things because I work with garments, but not enough to own a projector. I was kind of blown away by that. Like all the bag pattern pieces were just, I was like, this is brilliant. Yeah. Oh, thank you. I definitely want to do it. I know I've had people because I'm one of those few people that have the Birkin pattern from I want to say Vogue, and it's the original one. And I'm a collector of patterns. I don't know if I mentioned this. I collect old patterns. The older, the more I collect them. Like I have like J.C. Penney patterns that had like Cinderella's dress or Briar Woods corset top. I collect patterns. And also I have a tendency of like hanging out with older people that sew patterns that they can't sew anymore because they're arthritis or they're retired and they can't do it. And I don't know. They always grandfather me their patterns and I'm like extremely grateful. I have a lot of cosplay patterns, but yes, I own a lot of bag patterns, like from like McCall, the big four. But yes, I own the Birkin one. That's my pride and joy. I want to frame it, but Kindle's like, really? And I'm like, yes. Because that pattern, if you find it, because it's nearly impossible. I've had people message me trying to buy it for me. The cheapest you will find it, the cheapest you'll ever seen it. The cheapest I've ever seen it was $250. See? Oh, Deb, yeah, I'm gonna have to pick your brain. I really want to do it. I want to keep moving forward and opening up the horizon. So I'm really trying to that might be my big spin. Like I told you guys yesterday how we break up money. That might be my big spin for taxes is to get a projector and or a silhouette or whatever. Because there's so many designers that have SVGs and I want to be able to help people and or learn with me, tell me like nope, nope, don't do that, and so that other people can look at these videos and be like, I didn't know you can do that. I have this machine at home. Oh, I will, Deb, you know I will. All right, well, I'm gonna go get coffee and put my Tom Riddle book away because I write notes in this journal. It's pretty cool that look, and I write it with invisible ink because I'm a nerd. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I think I have too much time on my hand. But other times I think this is just my creative process. All right. Have a great day too, Lynette. Everyone have a really good day. Bye.